guys, right now I'm going to show you the works of this bro. This guy here is making really good art and very nice. I've not seen this in the entire Africa. Finally, Marvel and DC Comics are now having a competition from the motherland. Come and see. So here is the guy. Bro.
Kuja. Hi. He's a very good friend of mine. Tumejuana miaka mingi.
So we are doing a recording. We are trying to you know, we are so much westernized. Tukifikiria superpowers, as he's saying, we only think of Batman. We never think of the boy and Njiko. But he brings them to light. So right now we're just presenting that for us to see. The bro is really doing a nice work. So guys, I'm going to do an interview with Bro here. And Bro is really going to show us the story behind this art. I can't talk for him, he'll talk for himself. Right, Bro? So I'm going to have an interview with him and then let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. So I'd love to introduce to you each and every piece and you know, tell you what is going on. So here we have Wangeshi and Wanjiku. Wangeshi and Wanjiku are sisters. They are persons living with disabilities, but they have unique superpowers. Next in line we have Gaitana. So Gaitana is among the first 3 siblings that were created by Mother Earth and brought forth to the world. Next in line we have Njoki. So Njoki is this girl, this child that unifies the immortal sisters to bring about the end to an evil's regime, and that regime is of Gaitana. So Njoki and the 4 sisters, the immortal sisters, they combine efforts to defeat Gaitana, who is a villain in the story. Then here we have Wangeshi. Wangeshi, a representation of Wangeshi. Wangeshi is the firstborn of 4 quadruplets. So these are sisters living with disabilities, but they all have unique powers. Wangeshi is blind. Next in line we have Gakere. Gakere is the eldest sibling. We have Gakere, Gakuya and Gaitana. Gakere is a seer and is among the first gods that were brought forth by Mother Earth. Then here we have Baraka. Baraka is the custodian of waters, and Baraka's father is Engolong and the mother is Nkatha, and his twin brother is Jabari. So Jabari is the custodian of the land, and Baraka here is the custodian of the waters, protecting the marine environment. So here we are preaching about environmental conservation. Then we have Wanjiku. So Wanjiku is among the 4 sisters. She was born without 1 leg, but she has a unique superpower in that she can transform herself into a flying kite and utilize her powers. Ladies and gentlemen, is the fictive universe, where it's a collection of authentic African superheroes integrating science fiction and fantasy with Africanism.
Hello bro.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Niko salama sana.
I'm happy to interview you.
Asante. Kuchoka, lakini tuna push. And it's a wonderful day, being that my work is here exhibited. Yeah, so it's an amazing experience and I'm enjoying everything. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Karibu.
So, are you a resident of Nairobi or?
Yes, I'm a resident of Nairobi, but born and bred in Mombasa. Yes.
Mombasa and Nairobi, which one would you recommend for a tourist?
Mombasa.
Mombasa.
Yes.
Mombasa. That's interesting. So I'm going to ask you questions about African Americans and Africans.
Okay.
So you understand they are called African Americans because they come from Africa.
Okay.
So the first one is, do you think Africans should pay reparations to Black Americans for historical injustices like slavery?
No, absolutely not.
Yes.
Yes.
So you believe we should not pay for our sins?
No, 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 no. Why are we paying for our sins? Did we, bring this to them? It was not us. It is not our fault.
Yes.
Yes.
Who do you think is responsible? There has to be someone.
The people who enslaved them, and these are the colonialists.
Yes.
Yes.
So Africans are not responsible.
Africans are not responsible.
Okay.
In fact, I think Africans are victims.
How are Africans victims? And we don't. Have you ever suffered racism in Africa?
Have I ever suffered racism in Africa? Not an African to an African, but I've seen a white person here in Kenya,
Yes.
viewing me from a different, perspective, especially when it came to business.
Yes.
So she thought, because it's a she thought that she could, push me into doing, or rather doing to her bidding. So she had that mentality that you're an African, so if I tell you do this, this is the amount I'm going to pay you, this is how I want you to work.
Yes.
So you see, there was that, and that was, I felt that was kind of racist.
So she felt she had power over you.
Yes, which is not supposed to be that way.
That is very wrong, bro.
That is very wrong. And it was like she was exercising her will on me, which is very wrong.
Do you think she would do the same with a fellow white person?
No, she can't.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, let's move to the second one. What are your thoughts on the idea of reparations for Black Americans from African countries? What do you think of the idea of reparations?
For Africans,
For African Americans, to Africans.
I don't think it's not a concept that should be amplified or even entertained or tolerated.
Wow, so they shouldn't say that we pay them.
They shouldn't say that we should pay them.
So do you have any remorse for Black Americans then?
I have no remorse.
Bro.
I have no remorse.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. But remember there are
Because the reason why I'm saying so, because at the end of the day, there was something that came out from, that system. It's just like in the Bible when the Israelites, were in Egypt and they were being tortured and all that. But you see, at the end of the day, Moses was led to them and they were gotten out of Egypt, and from there they went, to a promised land that had better things. So you see, with the Africans, we're still here and, still trying to catch up. But for African Americans, right now they are better off. Yeah. So I think for them it was a blessing in disguise.
a blessing in disguise.
Yes.
Okay. So the third one, do you believe that there is a connection between the history of slavery in the US and Africa?
I think so. Yes.
What makes you think so?
Because it's the same people. We were colonized by, the Britain people. So what they did there is what they did here. So there's that correlation.
So do you think slavery and colonialism hold the same weight?
In terms of?
In terms of human suffering.
Or in terms of human suffering, colonialism and slavery.
Yes. Because come to think of it, colonialism is also a form of slavery.
I think they both wear same magnitude.
Yeah.
Yeah, they both carry same weight.
Okay.
Yes.
So to you, is there history? Is there a linkage between slavery in the US and in slavery in in Africa?
Yes, there's a link.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. So the fifth question is, should governments or individuals be responsible for paying reparations? Who should pay for these reparations? Is it you or is it your government?
It's the people who colonized us. according to how I perceive such matters.
And who is these people?
Because you see, even at the time there was a government in place. We had African governments. If it's here in Kenya, we had a Kenyan government, and which was, you know, in cahoots with the British government.
Yes.
So I think the person that we should hold responsible should be the British government.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. So number 6, what are some of the practical ways that reparations could be implemented, in your opinion?
We can have the government. I think our own government can assist us in this and put measures on how they can create that link with the British government, so that we have that system that addresses such matters.
Yes.
Yeah. So through the Kenyan government, if it's Kenya, and the British government to link up and address such matters.
So what do you think would be the consequence of letting Black Americans come to live in Africa?
The consequences of letting Black Americans come to live in Africa, I don't think it's. I see more positive. I see it from a positive angle than a negative one, and reason being that because you see those people, they are more exposed. And like I had said before, for them it was a blessing in disguise. So I think if they come here, they will introduce, systems that could bring, or rather, bring an impact in our own nation and also continent. So it will be a good thing. Yes.
Thank you so much. Number 7, do you think the idea of reparation is fair, considering the complex history involved? Is it a fair business to pay back the Black Americans?
It's not a fair business.
Why so broke?
Why are we paying them back?
You see, it might not be you, bro. It might not be me. It might not even be our grandfathers or parents.
But
someone was responsible for selling these people out.
Oh, okay.
Even if we leave the white people, someone who is an African was responsible. And because we are coming from the same bloodline, I think here is where the question is rooted. Is it fair to pay back?
It is fair.
It is fair. Now it is fair.
It is somewhat fair. It is somewhat fair.
Okay. Okay.
That means it's 60, 40, 40, no 60, not, 60 not fair, 60 shouldn't happen,
Yeah.
40
It should.
it should.
Alright. So,
Hiyo ina shida yake.
are there any alternative ways to address historical injustices and their consequences?
Yeah. Can use the power of media
Yes.
to bring attention to such matters, to address such matters.
Yes.
So there's power in media, so we can use media. Actually, media is a way of spreading the awareness.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
So, brother, have you been to the States?
I've been there, not physically,
Yeah.
but
you've been there?
spiritually,
Alright.
and also with my mind. But physically, but I'd really love if there's someone out there, Manze, who can pay my air ticket, return ticket, and also accommodation to the States. I will appreciate.
Yes, yes, yes. You know, through your work, maybe you can be able to visit them.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
So number 10 we have the last question, that is, what role, if any, should international organizations or the global community play in this discussion of reparation?
What role should
Should an international organization or the global community play in this discussion of reparation?
I think just by addressing this matter and getting in touch with our own governments and finding ways of how they can create awareness through the media.
Yes, yes. Wow. So, brother, how can people get you? How can we reach you?
That's a good question. So people can reach me through on Instagram. It's at @Stevenchi_photography.
At Stevenchi.
At Stevenchi, STEVENCHY_photography. On Facebook, Stevenchi Photography, same spelling. On TikTok at Stevenchi01. Contact number is 0700-388-005.
Yes. Thank you so much, Steve.
Thank you so much too. I'm honored.
So the last one, if you have any message, what would that be for the Black Americans?
The Black Americans. We appreciate you people, and we love you, and keep doing what you're doing and be you. Asante.
Thank you, Steve. You know, it's funny that Africans, we are using English and Europeans don't use mother tongue, our languages. Don't you find it funny?
Of course, I find it amusing. Yeah.
So, I see you are doing African art.
Yes.
And you are trying to spread the message of Africanism.
Yes.
And how people can love to appreciate Africans.
Yes.
Because even Africans nowadays don't appreciate Africanism.
Yes.
So would you tell us about yourself and what motivated you to start all this?
So my name is Stephen Maithia.
Yes.
Alias Stevenchi. I'm the founder and creative director at Stevenchi Photography, and I'm also the founder of a universe. This is an imaginative universe that is known as the fictive universe. So fictive universe is it's a body of work. It's a collection of African superheroes, and we have villains in the stories. And at Fictive Universe, we reimagine African concepts by integrating science fiction and fantasy with Africanism. So this idea was inspired by my childhood animations. I remember at the time when I was a kid, the only superheroes that I knew were Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and the likes. So growing up, I wanted, to see a change in that, and the only person I thought that could bring such a change was myself. So I asked myself, or rather, I pushed myself to bring that change, because no one was bringing that change here in this creative space. So I started coming up with, superhero characters. I would imagine them, sketch them down. So when in 2013, when I grabbed my first camera, trained myself in photography, so learned a little bit about script writing and visual storytelling, and all that helped me, start this creative journey of now bringing in African superheroes that we can relate with. A superhero that you can see, oh, this superhero is actually from my neighborhood. This superhero is actually from our country. This is a superhero named Wangeshi that is from our community, and that's how it was all inspired. And in 2018, I created my first superhero, who is Gakere, and from there, a lot of superheroes have been born till today, where we have the works that are behind us.
Yes. So you have really fine art.
Thank you.
Behind every art, is there a story behind it?
Yes, there is a story. Behind every piece, there is a unique story, which I'd really love to share with you.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
So I want you to, if you can, to show us around.
Okay.
And show us some of the images. And so, do you sell some of them, or is it just for art, not fun, but art?
I sell them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sell them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for you to show us, and maybe tell us also the prizes.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. So, I'd love to introduce to you each and every piece, and tell you what is going on. So here we have Wangeshi and Wanjiku. Wangeshi and Wanjiku are sisters. They are persons living with disabilities, but they have unique superpowers. Next in line we have Gaitana. So Gaitana is among the first 3 siblings that were created by Mother Earth and brought forth to the world. Next in line we have Njoki. So Njoki is this girl, this child that unifies the immortal sisters to bring about the end to an evil's regime, and that regime is of Gaetana. So Njoki and the four sisters, the immortal sisters, they combine efforts to defeat Gaetana, who is a villain in the story. Then here we have Wangeshi. Wangeshi, a representation of Wangeshi. Wangeshi is the firstborn of 4 quadruplets. So these are sisters living with disabilities, but they all have unique powers. Wangeshi is blind. Next in line we have Gakere. Gakere is the eldest sibling. We have Gakere, Gakuya and Gaetana. Gakere is a seer and is among the first gods that were brought forth by Mother Earth. Then here we have Baraka. Baraka is the custodian of waters, and Baraka's father is Engolong and the mother is Nkatha, and his twin brother is Jabari. So Jabari is the custodian of the land, and Baraka here is the custodian of the waters, protecting the marine environment. So here we are preaching about environmental conservation. Then we have Wanjiku. So Wanjiku is among the 4 sisters. She was born without 1 leg, but she has a unique superpower in that she can transform herself into a flying kite and utilize her powers. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the fictive universe, where it's a collection of authentic African superheroes integrating science fiction and fantasy with Africanism.
So all of these ones, you just developed your own ideas?
Yes, these are entirely my ideas. Wow. A fictive universe is imaginary.
Yes.
It's my own world, and these are my characters.
Wow. I love the work, bro.
Asante.